Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today's video I am super excited about because we are going to be picking my June TBR. This is my TBR cart and it's overflowing. There are just so many books on here and I have been reading a lot on my Kindle this month and I feel like I've been neglecting my physical TBR a little bit. I think I only read 3 physical books in the month of May. The rest of them were either audiobooks or ones that I read on my Kindle. So I am very motivated this month to kind of tackle some of these physical copies, and it's also just like summer vibes. I feel like I just want to lay on my patio furniture and read books outside, and a lot of the new ones that I've gotten were either from Book of the Month or they're like kind of romance summer type vibe books. So I'm super excited to pick my physical TBR. So for this month I'm going to be picking 6 physical books with 1 exception, and then I'm also going to be picking at least 1 Kindle Unlimited book because that's my goal. The subscription cost is like $12 a month, so I feel like if I read 1 Kindle Unlimited book a month, then I at least get my money's worth out of my subscription. So that's typically my goal for my Kindle, for at least just like reading 1 book on my Kindle a month. I typically do read more than 1 book on my Kindle, just in general, because I have a lot of books on my Kindle and I really like reading books on my Kindle, and I feel like I can fly through those pretty quickly. I do like using prompts to help me pick my TBR for the month, just because I feel like it helps me expand like what I would typically pick out to read, and it's just kind of fun, you know? It's not like I'm just going in there and picking 6 random books. I kind of get like, you know, prompted to pick one thing versus another. Like I said, there's 1 exception. That is the next part of my Throne of Glass series. So I'm going to be tandem reading Empire of Storms and Tower of Dawn. So these 2 somehow have to get on my TBR, and if they don't, they're just automatically going to be added to my TBR. But I'm going to count these as 1 prompt. So like whatever prompt kind of fits either one of these books, that's going to encompass both of these, just because I'm going to be reading them like it's 1 long book and kind of flipping between the 2. I've already tabbed them so I know when I need to switch books, but that's just the one kind of caveat for this particular month, which is a little bit different because I'm going to be tandem reading these 2. I am nervous to tandem read them. They're chunky books. It's a lot of material and like world building in this entire series, and I just feel like I have to really take my time reading these. So it does feel like a daunting task to have to read all of this in the next month and basically count it as 1 prompt, but I am up for the challenge, okay? This month, I'm just like, I want to really kind of buckle down on my physical TBR. Like I've said a bajillion times, but I just really want to like read. I just really am in like the spirit to read a lot of books this month. So that's all I have to say. So let's jump into picking some prompts. First one. A book with a camera on the cover. OMG, what? A camera? Oh, We Three Queens by Reese Bowen. Reese? I think that's how you say her name. That has a video camera on the front, so I'm gonna count that. I have never read one of her books before, but I am super intrigued by them. So, oh my God, there's a giant bug on my window. Anyways, I'm very intrigued by them. This book is, I feel like most of her books are like historical fiction type books. So this one is set in, let's see, what year is it? Literally no idea. Doesn't say. I'm just gonna read the little blurb on top. It says, new mother Lady Georgiana Ranach finds herself trying to separate fact from fiction when a murder occurs during the filming of a splashy historical drama on the grounds of her estate. So it's giving like historical fiction meets like maybe potentially cozy murder mystery, which are 2 of my favorite genres, if you count them as individual genres, but I love that. I love that for me. So this sounds so fantastic. This is gonna be my first one. Okay, next up. Ooh, this is a long one. A book featuring a protagonist with a disability. I have no idea what book I'm gonna pick for this. I need to do a little bit of research. So 1 second. Oh, you know what? I think I know which one. Hold the phone. Hold the freaking phone. Okay. The Only One Left by Riley Sager. Does this one have it? Yes, okay. So what I gather from the synopsis is basically a family gets murdered except for one daughter. The daughter that survives is kind of assumed to be the killer, but now it's many, many years later. She's been confined to a wheelchair in her home and has basically just shut herself off from society. And one of her home health aides comes in and she starts sharing her story with her and wants her to type it on her typewriter for her. I believe the person who is confined to a wheelchair is paraplegic, I think. So like she has no use of her hands either. And I don't think that's not in the synopsis here, but I remember someone saying that she's paraplegic. So that is definitely a disability. And we're gonna put this one on the TBR. I am so excited to finally read this. I've heard so many good things about it. Like no one that I have heard has had like really negative things to say about it. So I am excited to put this on my June TBR. All right, next one up. A book with a rainbow cover. I actually have a couple books I think I could pick for this one. So, I mean, you could count a rainbow as multiple things, right? Like you could count it as a legit rainbow, like an actual rainbow. I feel like you could also interpret it as just multicolored, like kind of expanding the color range with multiple different colors on the cover. And that's how I feel like I'm interpreting it. It's like a book with multiple colors on the cover that are like, that encompass the colors of the rainbow. So the two, actually there's three that came to mind right away. Promise Me Sunshine by Cara Bastone, The Passion Project by London Sperry, and then Abby Jimenez, or Say You'll Remember Me by Abby Jimenez. I don't know which one I want to read more. Okay, let me read the synopsis of each book and then I'll see which one is speaking to me the most. Actually, you know what? No, I'm gonna read the first line of each book and then see which one I like the best, like which one is speaking to me. I never do it like this. This is very exciting. Okay, I'm starting with The Passion Project. First line is, I've been betrayed by pasta carbonara. I love pasta, so that's a good first line. Promise Me Sunshine. Let's do this one next. This baby will not stop judging me. That's funny. And then Say You'll Remember Me. You want me to do what, I asked? Okay, honestly, I feel like the pasta statement has stuck out to me the most. So we're gonna go with Passion Project by London Sperry. We're halfway down already. Crazy. Okay, fourth one. A book with at least, a book with a title at least 7 syllables long. Oh, okay. Okay. This is a newer book for me. I actually don't even know what this series is about. This is Saga of the Unfaded book 1, and then I also have book 2, and I'm gonna be totally honest and say that I basically bought book 1 because I liked the cover of book 2 and the shiny sprayed red edges. So yeah. But let's see, A Fate Inked in Blood. Nope, that's 5. Ooh, this one is a new one. The Knight and the Moth. The Knight and the Moth. This one's also a newer one. It's by Rachel Gillig. And I freaking love her One Dark Window series. It was so good. And this one came out at the end of May, but it's only 5 syllables. So can't do that. Ooh, wait, you know which one was 7? Assistant to the Villain. However, I'm already reading a series about like an assassin with the Throne of Glass series. So I don't know if I want to kind of start this series, although I have been wanting to because the 3rd book I think comes out this year. Oh my gosh. Okay, so assistant to the Villain. 7 syllables. So this one is currently the only one that I'm able to read. But let's see. Okay, we'll keep looking. You know which one has to be at least also 7? Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies. Okay, this one also is obviously way more than 7. That one is a contender. This one also has 7. Every sweet thing is bitter. That's 8. All the light we cannot see. That one is also 7. And this one is about World War II. It's very intense. I have read this book before, but it was many, many years ago. And I just feel like I want to reread this one again. So this one is on my TBR cart. So that one's also a contender. I think this is enough to pick from. There's 4 of them here. Looking at what I already have picked, I have Passion Project, which is kind of like like a rom-com. The only one left, which is a thriller kind of like mystery one. And then We Three Queens, which is like cozy murder historical fiction. So I don't really have anything like too serious. I mean, the Riley Sager one, I guess, is like, that one is serious. But I think I'm just automatically going to take Assistant to the Villain off because I've been wanting to finish the Throne of Glass series before I start this one, just because it's like, you know, assassin type thing, same thing. I know it's different, but you know what I mean. So that one is automatically going to go back. The Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies, I have felt like everyone that has read this has said it's really nice to read in the fall because it's kind of like, I don't know, a cozy thing? I don't know, but I've really been wanting to read this. And it's definitely a different kind of genre, different feel than the books that I already have listed. However, for whatever reason, this one is really pulling me in, and I think I need to read this one. I know it's gonna make me cry, and like, in all honesty, I've just been kind of like emotionally in need of a cry, one could say. This one I know is just like it's really gonna be super deep, and I'm gonna have to be in the right headspace for it. And I don't necessarily think that like summer is the vibe necessarily for this book, but I also, for whatever reason, I'm just gravitating towards this one. I'm really gravitating towards this one. So I think we're gonna put this one on the TBR. And this one is exactly 7, so I feel like that's perfect. Okay, we're already at 4. We're already at 4. I only have 2 left, and I still don't have the Throne of Glass series on there. Great! Ugh. A book you bought because you liked the cover. Oh, I already know which one I have to pick for this. Oh gosh. So I purely bought the Bridgerton books for this like limited edition cover. I bought all of them because I just adore the cover. I adore the set. I just think it looks so cute. Even like you know, the side binding and everything. It's so pretty. And the Bridgerton series to me screams like spring, summer. So I feel like it's a perfect vibe. I feel like I have to put this one on the TBR, especially for this prompt. I bought it. I literally only bought it because I liked the cover, and I mean, I love the TV series too, but I'm pretty sure these are on Kindle Unlimited. At least the first one was. So I didn't necessarily need to buy this one, but I bought it because of the cover. And that's it. That's all I have to say. So I already read Daphne's story. So the books in this kind of hardcover have 2 books per book, like 2 siblings per book. So this has Daphne and Antony's story in it. So I'll be reading Antony's story. One left. I have one more chance. No, wait. Yeah. Yep. One more chance. Otherwise, we'll be reading basically 8 books. We'll have 8 books on my physical TBR. A book about local history? What? Oh, I know which one I gotta go with. A Death in Door County. So if you don't know, I live in Wisconsin. I don't live particularly near Door County. Like, Door County is still many hours away. It's like 3 hours away. But, you know, this is like the closest I'm probably gonna get to something that's like local. This one is not necessarily historical in the sense that, like, I'm pretty sure this is just set in Door County. I don't think it's necessarily based on a true story, but I'm gonna count it because this is like the only book I think that's on my TBR card that's set in Wisconsin. I think it'd be kind of fun to read like a book set in Wisconsin too in the summer. I don't know. I'm just feeling it. And I need to take the sticker off right now because it's bothering me. A Death in Door County is our next one about local history, which is not even history, but you know what? It's my TBR card. I can bend the rules however I see fit. I'm gonna try to pick one more prompt to see if I can get anything that like will allow me to officially put the Tower of Dawn and Empire of Storms on my TBR. Okay, this is what happened. I initially picked up a book from an author with a 4-letter surname, and then I promptly threw it back in because I was like, there's no way that she could have a 4-letter surname. Obviously, Sarah J. Maas does. So I had to fish it back out, and we're gonna go with this. I actually can't believe that I drew that. That's kind of crazy, but. So these 2 are also now making their debut as our 7th and 8th book on the June TBR. I got some reading to do. Let's recap all the books that I picked for my June TBR. First prompt that we got was a book with a camera on the cover, and for that one I picked We Three Queens by Reese Bowen. Second book that I picked was for the prompt a book featuring a protagonist with a disability. For that one I picked The Only One Left by Riley Sager. The third prompt was a book with a rainbow cover, and for that one I picked Passion Project by London Sperry. Next prompt was a book with at least a title that has 7 syllables, and for that one I picked All the Light We Cannot See by Anthony Doerr, I think is how you say the last name. The next prompt was a book that you picked purely because you liked the cover, and for that one I picked the Bridgerton series. This one has Daphne and Antony's, and I'll be reading Antony's. The next prompt was a book about local history. For this one, I definitely did, I feel like, bend the rules a little bit, but this is A Death in Door County by Annalise Ryan. And then purely because I needed to add these 2 in an official manner onto my June TBR, I picked another prompt, which was a book with the author having 4 letters in her surname or their surname. And for that one, I picked Empire of Storms and the Tower of Dawn in the Throne of Glass series. I'll be tandem reading these, like I said, so I'm counting them as 1 book, even though it's going to count as 2 in my Fable count for the month. Oh my gosh, this is the thick TBR, guys. Like, thick. Look at this. Oh my gosh, I can't even. That is a lot of books. I don't even know how I'm gonna. Oh my goodness. This is gonna be a lot of work, but I feel like I'm prepared for it. In all honesty, will I get through all of these? I have no idea, but we're gonna try our best, okay? The TBR car is set. She's ready to roll. And I need to get reading. So let me know what you guys are reading this month, or if you've read any of these books. I would love to know. And I will see you in my next video. Bye.